These guys in this old Buick with Iowa license plate and dust all over them, and I had that Jag, and I'd go by and I'd say, "Fucking tourists," you know. One time I took a score that made a headline here in the paper, and it was the Bullocks, the old Bullocks. They had big jewelry thing, you know,
Oh, yeah.
And it was like in Straight Time. Did you see Straight Time?
A long time ago.
Where they smashed the cases and everything. And so the next day, the thing, it says, big robbery, 600,000 in ice. Well, in the 50s, early 50s, 600,000 was like millions now, you know. But the only problem is see, that was 600 grand retail. Jewelry is marked up 100% or more, you know, so really the wholesale value was around 300,000. And then a fence that you sell it to, he gives you 1/3 of it. That's the standard. So it's 100,000. So then you cut it with your two crime partners, so you wind up with about 35,000, you know, so it's definitely not a $600,000 score. Oh, one night here on this freeway, in 1957, I guess the spring of 57, there was a guy got out of the joint named Dizzy Davis. And I had a Jag at that time, one of those long, low, sleek Jags with a, you know, you've seen them, those old ones with a long hood and the mirrors on the thing. And we were coming in, it was about a little after midnight. In those days, the freeway was kind of empty. When we got by the interchange, I punched it. So I got it going about 100 down this freeway at night. I was going by everything, you know, shoot, shoot, shoot. And pretty soon, maybe about here, when I'm up there, I looked in the mirror and I saw those red lights, you know, behind me. And the chase was on. So I kept going, and when I got down here a ways, one of them come off Cahuenga, another one, and they came in front of me. And I went over to the left, and he was in front of me, and then all of a sudden I went right like a sports car will do. And I got off the ramp, and he couldn't make the turn. Under Highland, you know, where you go around and come back under, but I couldn't go under because I was going too fast. I'd spun out, and when I came out of it, I was on this side of the fence, and he was on that side of the fence, and we were looking at each other, you know, like this, and I turned up in the hills and got away. Car is deadly to the criminal because you have to have a driver's license, and they got trips in New York, boom, you're ducking a subway, you're ducking a building. You know, you're gone. 6 chases, I've got away twice. I'll tell you another thing here. For a while, in the 60s, they used to have what they call swinging singles apartments. This was the era when the baby boomers were all of a certain age, you know. I moved in there. I was not there long, but I was right over the freeway. See those windows right there on that apartment building? Right here, this orange apartment building.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be not in this one here, but in this second one here, and I'd stand up in the window naked. And I'd tell my old lady, "Hey, baby, I'm fucking all Hollywood," you know? And people would go by, and they'd look, they wouldn't know what they saw. They'd be gone so fast before they knew what happened, you know? I was in Folsom, I was in Quentin, and I filed a habeas corpus. They railroaded me. I was guilty, but they railroaded me. They perjured, and they did everything to get me, you know what I mean? They pulled out all the stops. I got to be a pretty good lawyer, jailhouse lawyer. And finally I got to the federal court, and I got an order for an evidentiary hearing, you know, where we can put on evidence and prove it, and so they ordered me back to the county jail for a hearing. There's some old wino, some old white drunk, and this black kid, he bumped into this black kid, and this black kid punched him and lit him up, you know? And I didn't like that. I didn't say anything, you know? So they're saying, throw the clothes in the hamper and come out, file out. So I don't get in those crowds. I hang back, and this guy behind me he told me, hurry up, man. I told him, hey, I'm taking my time. And I ain't no old man either, motherfucker. So I lit him up, man. Boom, boom, boom. Blood went, a couple of them jumped me, but I got my licks in. So they took me and they put me in Siberia. They're gonna keep me in Siberia for, you know, I don't know, all the time I'm there. And while I'm in Siberia, I can't get any visits. I took a cup of water. The light bulbs are screened in up above. I took a paper cup of water, threw it up there and popped the bulb and got the bulb, tied my arm up and cut till I got squirting water. But then I put it in a cup. See, I put the blood in and I put water in it, you know. So it's looking, and then I pour it on my head, you know, and then I throw it on the walls. You know, I mean, it looks terrible when you see it, you know, oh my God. So they code-10 me, boom, to the general hospital with sirens and everything. And I'm a day there in the general hospital, and they moved me back to the new jail, and they put me in the hospital ward. You know, and that's how I got in the hospital ward. You know. I was up in the hole in San Quentin, and Carol Chessman, the red light bandit they executed, the death row was behind the hole. You know, the cells were back to back, and you could talk through the ventilators. And I knew him from the jail a little bit. I wasn't supposed to have anything to read in the hole but the Bible. That's all they'd allow you. And I can quote it to my own ends, like they say. The devil can quote scripture. I sure can, you know. You know, I can, you know. It's better to live in one small corner in the attic than in a wide house with a brawling woman. So Chessman sent me over this magazine, Argosy, and they had excerpted the first chapter of his book, Cell 2455, Death Row. It was just a chapter about a guy being executed. It blew my mind that a convict, much less one on death row, and it said on there that this was from a book that was going to be published in a few months. And that night, all of a sudden, it just came, well, if he can do it, why can't I do it? I'm not facing the death penalty. I mean, I got all the time in the world. You know? And it did take all the time in the world. It took 6 books that didn't get published, you know, plus over 17 years before I got published. I mean, you know, perseverance is one thing, but you know, some things are, you know, I didn't have anything better to do. You know, I believe in perseverance above, you know, everything. I think perseverance overcomes intelligence, overcomes luck, overcomes, you know, everything. You know, perseverance wins. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just driving around giving you a tour, you know what I mean, of everything I know about it.